again. You know, sometimes to truly understand and value an attribute of God, and most assuredly humility, it helps to look at its opposite. So today we're going to talk about pride. This is a tough one. I have personally wanted to look at pride closely enough that I could detect its rotten scent quickly and easily. And I have to tell you, the quickly part is not easy. And firstly, in me. And I gotta tell you, it truly takes the Holy Spirit's training and reigning. Okay, warning, U-turns ahead. Gotta fill in, I'm gonna come under conviction. If we spend some time here, I hope you too will be so disgusted with ugly, sneaky, and subtle pride, you will run to God's grace and in humility hide. Pride and self-direction, of course, were not God's plan, but was what Satan offered man. Lucifer corrupted, defaced God's wisdom, which is full of humility. And from the words of Lucifer's mouth, we can detect what kind of creature he came to be. Remember, he had said in his heart, I will ascend. I will exalt my throne. I will be like the Most High God. And as heart detectives, we can easily see Lucifer was in a fog when he allowed God's wisdom to go to the dogs. But we can gain from his loss by seeing how dangerous it is, lifting ourselves up, because then we'll share his loss. Humility embraces the ways of God, but pride blinds, leaving us contrary to God. Remember we learned God resists the proud? So pride blinds. How does that work? Well, it's not like a pinprick where I can quickly focus and see and handle it. No, attitudes of pride attempt to blind me. They are vague, attempting to keep me in an internal fog. I wish they were blatant and clear, but the spirit of pride, and yes, it's a spirit, and we know it's Father, but the spirit of pride is deceptive and hides. I'm wrong. Please forgive me. You know, I don't want that attitude in my heart, or not pride's vocabulary. I prefer that you choose. Will never be the words he'll use. Filled with himself, no room for others. He'll love himself and use or degrade his sisters and brothers. A sad sort of chap, wanting the uppermost position, but man's heart can only be healed by the great physician. We must not point him out in others, but in our own heart shudder, knowing we too can be blinded and broadsided. The safest place to be is found in God's humility. Pride is clearly our enemy. Let's look at pride in a little different life. There's this masked man living inside who goes by the name of pride. Stealthily, sly, and crafty critter. He's difficult to spot. Now, I know I've said that before, but I really can't emphasize that enough. And because he is difficult to spot, he is hard to get rid of. But the trained eye can see, and the trained ear can hear. Listen to the way he'll talk. Well, I Well, let me tell you. Oh, do it this way. I. Oh, you. While pride is yet to make his first mistake, others, over the crow, he'll quickly break. He blinds the eyes of those he's deceived, so the person cannot see the scoundrel we've received. So pride goes on hiding in the human heart, but the key to his exposure is learning his style, his language, his tone, then wanting him gone. See how the will is involved here? Together, let's sniff this guy out. Only by pride comes contention. Discord, argument, and strife are rife with pride. But with the well-advised is wisdom. Gotta warn you, these will cut deep, will divide soul from spirit, because the I is so acceptable to me. I don't even see. And shall we consider this? So God graced you with knowledge, a brain that works quite well, or perhaps a skill or a talent, and you're going to get in pride because he, she, or they don't know, don't see, or can't do, well, at least not as well as me. Perhaps you should consider this. Grace, a gift, is also a test. With a big pass or fail, will I serve others with this gift? And remember, it's only a gift. Or will haughtiness prevail? I'm not trying to put on you anything that hasn't been dealt with in me. Let me tell you a time of my own conviction. Many, but point out one or two. To this moment, I can see right where I was walking, the spot where I got caught, and where my heart was revealed. I don't remember the circumstances or the person involved, because Holy Spirit, to him, they were not the issue. I was. I casually began to say, well, okay, that's the way I thought I said it. I would not do that. Think that, want that, or be that. I didn't get past the well, because inside what I heard was this, well, I didn't get far into my thought and self-declaration, because what I heard loud and clear was the insinuation, the tone echoing loud and clear. Well, the message was clear, and he pulled the slack out of me. Holy Spirit had revealed my heart to me. Of course, I didn't say it that way, the way he echoed it back, but he's a revealer of hearts, and without him, my heart would have continued to be blinded. Who even talks about these things today? Sad, I have to say, because it leaves us stuck and stumbling in unrecognized pride. Think I'm going to seek out a pride partner where we can reveal and help one another. And I remember a year in my life that I had to name. You know how the Chinese name their years, like the year of the dragon, the year of this and that? Well, I had been in a situation where my pride ran high and criticism was rampant in my thoughts. Not in my words, I'm far too savvy for that. Then the Holy Spirit had some conversations with me, not a few, which ended with me naming that year the year of the lumberjack. Me taking the beam out of my eye, and when that was done, I found no mote to see. And aren't these all sins against love? Did I forget? Love is not self-centered. John the Baptizer said, "A man can receive, take to himself nothing." Okay, hold out your hand. Put some nothing in there. I think you get it. A man can receive, take to himself nothing, except it be given from heaven. So where's boasting then? Why do we think more highly of ourselves than we ought? We don't boast out loud. Come on, we're culturally adept. We wouldn't do that. However, inside, the masked man gleefully resides. In writing this lesson, I got nailed. My own heart has been exposed, and I do want to drain my own swamp. Let me tell you how the process of conviction has worked with me. I sense in my innards kind of an ishy zone. Perhaps it was my attitude, my tone. I sense something amiss. But rather than ask Holy Spirit to please shed his light, what is it in me that's not right? See how it's hard to see? I just roll on, right past the swamp, ignoring the stench in me. And you know what's scary? Our world is so like this, in the way we talk and justify. Oh, don't I see how much on the Holy Spirit I must rely? Then will I make his desired U-turns. Talk about choices.